how did you step into this pricing world, and what is your journey like throughout the world of pricing?
So good question. There's a couple of ways to answer that. I guess when I finished school, I started work in the oil industry, and like many people, I went into an oil company's mail room and sorted mail and delivered it around the building for a while. And then the next stepping stone was into the sales accounting department, and that involved checking invoices, customer invoices, to make sure that the quantity was read and readable and the price was readable. And I started thinking to myself, where the hell are these prices coming from in the oil industry? Um, and I think the industry is still trying to work out where those prices come from, because no one can explain the petroleum pricing cycle. So that was my first interaction with pricing, and I actually quite enjoyed it.
Mm,
And then I moved into the aviation industry, and I was working at the catering department of a airline, and I was pricing meals. So all those stories you've heard about peanuts costing a cent and olives half a cent and stuff like that are true. And somebody works out how much someone like United or British Airways pays for a meal for their passengers when they pick it up from catering in Australia or wherever they stop at. From
yeah.
there, I went into pricing the airfares. So I've gone from a product where nobody knows how prices are set to one that's set by a methodology called cost plus pricing. And then
Yeah.
I've gone into where the seats are priced on the basis of revenue or yield management. So, if you know anything about aviation, if you've got 200 seats on an aircraft and you've got 100 different airfares, then you're missing 100 airfares. You should have almost one unique airfare for every single seat on the aircraft. After that, I went over to the UK and I worked for a gentleman by the name of Sir Stelios Hadjiolanu, who started EasyJet, but I actually went and worked at a chain of internet cafes that we built up from 0 to 22 in 22 months, opening an internet cafe in a city every month. And these were internet cafes on steroids. They had on average 400 seats in them. In New York, we built one with 717 seats in it, and the pricing was dynamic. So
Mm,
never before seen on Main Street USA or High Street Europe, where you walked into an internet cafe and the price you paid was determined by the occupancy in the store at that time. And before you got your credit and logged on to a seat, once you'd found yourself one, the price could have changed because the occupancy was always fluctuating in the store. So there was another pricing methodology, dynamic pricing. And then a few years later, I came back to Australia and I got heavily involved in particularly the tech space, but not all the tech space, and value-based pricing. So pricing where it is aligned to the value that customers receive rather than being determined by or determined or influenced by competitors or costs and things like that.